You can sit up there and say Dak Prescott didn't have the most stellar game. You can do that. You can point to Ezekiel Elliott rushing for just 47 yards and 20 carries. You can point to the coaching. Because Jason Garrett, in concert with Scott Linehan, ultimately studied their own calls. And the Los Angeles Rams knew exactly what the Cowboys were going to do and when they were going to do it. And as a result, that made them incredibly transparent, which closed the gaps for Ezekiel Elliott to run the football. And as a result, you got what you got. We could go that route. We could do that. We could do that. But here's what I would ask you to see. I would ask you to notice C.J. Anderson rushing for 123 yards and 22 carries. I would ask you to notice Todd Gurley rushing for 115 yards on 16 carries. I would ask you to notice that the two combined for 3 touchdowns. Anderson with 2, Gurley with 1. I would ask you to look at all of those things. And then I would ask you to say this. Tell me that the Dallas Cowboys didn't get punched in the face. That's what this came down to. We can slice it any way we want to. But the Dallas Cowboys got manhandled at the line of scrimmage. And Ndamukong Suh was manhandling the offensive line. No matter what way you slice it. And Whitworth and his crew on the offensive line for the Los Angeles Rams was manhandling the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. Jared Goff was sitting back there. He barely had to put in a day's work. The Los Angeles Rams rushed the football 48 times Saturday night and threw the ball 28 times. One article was comparing the 32-year-old Sean McVay, the youngest head coach in the NFL, to the old coach Chuck Knox from the 70s, because that's the strategy they reverted back to. We're going to run it right down Dallas's throat, and we're going to dare them to do something about it. That is what happened.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Customers who switch to Progressive can save an average of $668. Call or click today and find out if we could save you hundreds on your car insurance. Plus, with the Vivid Seats app, it's easy to find awesome seats to any game. Download the app and enter promo code CHAMPS at checkout to get 10% off your first order. 888 say ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. A couple other items I wanted to get into. I don't know if y'all saw Jerry Jones talking about Jason Garrett, but he was interviewed. I think it was 105.3 Dallas, and Jerry Jones was quoted as saying that Jason Garrett would have 5 jobs or 5 teams chasing him. That's what he said. He said if Coach Jason Garrett hit the open market, he'd get 5 job offers. Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, who's won 2 playoff games in Lord knows how many years. Jason Garrett, I'm going to make sure that I'm right on point with this right here. Because I want to make sure about this. Because I know that Jason Garrett took over. And when he took over, the year that he took over was 2010. Wade Phillips was the coach initially, and then Jason Garrett came in and helped the Dallas Cowboys finish 6-10. Ladies and gentlemen, thereafter, for 3 consecutive years, 3, Jason Garrett went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8 in back-to-back-to-back years. And each season, he lost the last game of the regular season with a division crown on the line. And he didn't lose it to the same team. He lost it to different teams. This wasn't some Dwayne Casey situation where you're coaching your butt off, but you keep running into LeBron James. No, Jason Garrett lost to the Philadelphia Eagles one year. Then the next year, and don't get me wrong, I don't have the order in front of me, but one year it was Philadelphia. Another minute it was the Washington Redskins. Another year was the New York Giants. Back to back to back years, 3 consecutive years, he lost to the division foe with the division crown on the line in the last game of the regular season with the division crown on the line. And he kept his job. He comes back in 2014. Dallas Cowboys go 12-4. Okay. The referees make some bogus call against the Lions. They beat the Lions. And then the catch that wasn't a catch by Des Bryant and all of this other stuff against Green Bay, they lose. They lose, and their season ends 12-4. That was Jason Garrett's first victory in the postseason as a head coach. His 5th year. Basically 3.5 years, actually. All right. Then the following season, 2015, he goes 4-12. And then in 2016, he comes back. They go 13-3 with Dak Prescott in as the quarterback. But when they go 13-3 with Dak Prescott in as the quarterback, they lose to the Green Bay Packers with that terrific pass from Aaron Rodgers down to the left sideline. The following season, they go 9-7. Okay. They miss the playoffs. This year they go 10-6. They make the playoffs. They beat Seattle. But they lose to the Los Angeles Rams. So he has a second victory. Okay? And 2 victories. All right? Now, he's been a coach since 2010 now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7.5 seasons. Jason Garrett has 3 winning seasons. 2 playoff victories. And nothing else. And Jerry Jones says 5 teams would be looking to hire him as their head coach. And you know the sad part about that is, I think Jerry Jones is right. I think Jerry Jones is right. I think that if Jason Garrett was on an open market, there would be about 5 different teams that will hire him as their head coach. I'm not challenging Jason Garrett's knowledge about the game of football. I truly am not. All kidding aside, as much as I love to troll Dallas Cowboy fans, the Dallas Cowboys team, I would love to work for an owner like Jerry Jones, for the most part. National anthem issue aside. Talk to all the players. He loves them, and he's loyal as heck to them. Being in Big D with that star, with the bright lights that the Dallas Cowboys descend upon anybody wearing its uniform and representing its brand, I get it. And it's to be commended in all seriousness, all joking aside. But there's only one word that comes to mind when Jerry Jones makes a statement about Jason Garrett like that. And you know what it is? It's nepotism. Who you know, friends. It's not about a meritocracy. No, Jason Garrett didn't fail to win a postseason game in 16 years as the head coach like Marvin Lewis did. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, he's been able to take you to the postseason. But the reality of the situation is that Jason Garrett hasn't done enough for Jerry Jones to make a statement like that. A matter of fact, half of Cowboys Nation, if not more, would prefer that Jerry Jones got rid of Jason Garrett. And the biggest reason why Jason Garrett is still there is because he's liked, not because he has produced. And because he's such a nice guy. And he's so lovable. He gets to keep his job, even though he's proven to be mediocre at it. It's a damn shame. It goes against what we preach about as Americans. It really does. But that's just me. Jay, you're live with Stephen A. What's up? Jay, are you there? Jay going once. Jay going twice. Goodbye, Jay. Terrence, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Well, Stephen A., you already know, as a Bears fan, I'm still hurt over that missed field goal.
Well,
So
partially blocked field goal. Well, go ahead.
Partially blocked. Okay.
All right.
But I've been keeping up with my team recently, and I've been noticing. I noticed that Matt Nagy talked to the press, and he said he wouldn't rule out signing Kareem Hunt.
Correct.
But if I'm the Bears, would I want to sign Kareem Hunt?
Well, let me say this to you. Let me respond to that with a question. Do you believe in second chances?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but then I would sign Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, let me tell you something right now. If Kareem Hunt won the Kansas City Chiefs, we'd be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs being the favorites to win it all. And Damian Williams has done a tremendous job filling in for Kareem Hunt. He balled out Saturday against the Indianapolis Colts. But if you look at Tyreek Hill and the superstar that he is, and you look at Travis Kelce, the best tight end in football that he is, and you look at the return of Sammy Watkins, and you look at the soon-to-be league MVP and Patrick Mahomes, and you combine that with Kareem Hunt being back in the lineup for Kansas City, we're not talking about anybody. We're not even talking about New England beating them. We're really not. We're not even talking about the possibility of New England going into Arrowhead Stadium and beating these boys. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs being the favorites to win a Super Bowl, and if they don't win, how much of a blemish and a blotch this would be on the career of Andy Reid. That's what we'd be talking about, and you know it. Kareem Hunt is a bad brother. What he did was inexcusable. He deserves to be put on the commissioner's exempt list. He deserves to be exiled from Kansas City with their history involving domestic violence. You have no choice but to let him go. You can't tolerate that. You had a player years ago that once killed his girlfriend and then went to the Kansas City Chiefs facility and killed himself right in front of Romeo Crennel, if I remember correctly. Because Romeo Crennel is beloved and obviously tried to talk him down, and it didn't work because he realized what he had done, and it was either life in prison or kill himself, and that's what he elected to do. I believe Belcher was his name, if I remember correctly. So if you're the Kansas City Chiefs with that kind of history, I don't think you can do that. Now, I asked Ryan Clark, who played in the NFL, who's an NFL analyst extraordinaire for us, what he thinks when he comes on the show to start off hour number 2, but I don't think that you could bring him to Kansas City. But to Chicago to give him a new start, Kareem Hunt, once he pays his dues, there's not enough to be on the commissioner's exempt list because he's still getting paid. Suspend his behind for at least half the season. Make sure that a penance is paid for making such a transgression, and to do everything you can to dissuade repeat behavior in the future. Once that situation is resolved in terms of whetting our appetites for that kind of thing, then I think a team like the Bears could bring him on board.
Would the chances of the Bears winning the Super Bowl go up, though?
Yes. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. I like Jordan Howard, but I think Kareem Hunt is a stud. And Tariq Cohen with a Kareem Hunt, Lord have mercy. Okay? And Mitchell Trubisky is not a scrub. He had a good playoff game, and he's shown some promise. And then you look at some of their weapons. Okay? I'm sorry, with Robinson and Gabriel and those boys, and Chicago's defense, you damn right it will elevate Chicago's chances, without question. That's the only reason. Why else would Nagy bring it up? Why would he bring it up? He wouldn't bring it up for just an average player.
Kansas City, though.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you on that. No question. Appreciate the call, my man. Thank you so much. Get triple action protection for optimal engine performance with Shell V-Power Nitro plus premium gasoline. Also, if you missed my opening segment, go check it out as well as my entire show on demand in the Stephen A. Podcast, brought to you by the new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% back cash, or cash back rather, on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% at all other purchases. Hey, what's in your wallet? 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. We'll get back to your phone calls. talking about Kareem Hunt, talking about NFL playoff action, talking about some NBA action as well, talking about Adam Gase and that press conference with the New York Jets last night. All that and more before Ryan Clark comes on to start off hour number 2. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN.